Thank you, Madam Deputy President. Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone. Tonight I offer this speech in the aftermath of the Divine Playhouse furor, and in referencing Christianity and sharing my gratitude for the best of it, I recognise that the Christian community and those who generally adhere to these values in Australia vastly outnumbers the LGBTQI community. And many in that LGBTQI community would also express their commitment to Christian values in some way or another. Certainly, there was deep excitement when the culturally religious institution of marriage was made available to same-sex couples. I offer this speech in a spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood to those in religious groups who have taken offence at the activities in the Divine Playhouse and with the diverse LGBTQI community. So, let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone. A line from the Gospel of John 8:7, a caution for humanity for 2 millennia to be wary of moral superiority and of the judgment of others. Wise words, for do we not fall short every day of our ideal, or the ideal suggested to us by the structures of our communities? And when we and those around us fall short of this ideal, Ephesians 4:32 guides Christians, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you. These Christian concepts, based on individual responsibility and a call to progress, not perfection, underpin the liberal morality that has guided Western civilization for centuries. These ideals are well represented in the UN's Declaration of Human Rights. In 1948, it recognised the rights and responsibilities of individuals to enjoy freedom of speech and belief and to live free from tyranny without oppression. The Declaration represented and still represents soaring ambition. It sought to find the similarity in our humanity. It built on Christian ideals to restore dignity amongst individuals and brotherhood through concurrence during a time of sorrow and relief. In our modern times, liberalism, as a conglomerate of Judeo-Christian values with some pagan reverence for nature thrown in, seems like a ubiquitous, healthy and sustainable way for individuals to be free and to find meaning in their lives and live together in relative harmony while doing so. Liberalism accommodates difference in a sophisticated and often delicate way, tolerates difference so long as oppression and tyranny do not emerge. It is not puritanical and seeks progress, not perfection. And there is a difference between tolerance and acceptance, where tolerance does not necessarily seek to understand or require approval, as the notion of acceptance seems to suggest. And I say all of this to earnestly ask the many Christians concerned about the Divine Playhouse furor, does it really matter? With all the real ills and harms in the world, the faith that you have, the role that it plays in your life, to love, to give you courage, to encourage service, compassion, gratitude and humility is valuable. And I truly believe that honestly held faith is stronger than 100 people deciding to use the symbols of faith to play and find their own meaning. Yes, you might find what they do objectionable, but consider that you would not even know about these actions without malicious actors living in algorithmic that seek to divide our society. Can you tolerate that a small group of people who do not share your views about religion and politics gather in their own space lawfully to seek their own version of the divine? Does it affect your life day to day? Does it stop you from practicing your own faith? Why do you care about what these people think of your religion? In Sydney, the gay community and the Catholic Church have a history of love and compassion. During the AIDS epidemic, the sisters at St Vincent's Hospital are still celebrated for their compassionate care of homosexual men dying from an unknown disease and maligned by so much of society for their sexuality. Since then, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, men in nuns' garb, have long been a feature of Mardi Gras, a loving and generous tradition around King's Cross and Oxford Street. Yes, it might sting to see faith being poked at, a bit of prideful hurt or righteous indignation at the appropriation of symbols and meanings that you hold dear, but isn't that part of living in a liberal democracy? Isn't your faith, the reasons you live your faith, stronger than that? Religion is powerful. For millennia, it has maligned and denigrated, murdered homosexuals in the name of God. Homosexual acts only legalised in New South Wales in 1984. The Gay Panic Defence for Murder only wound back in 2014 in this state. Religion was often at the centre of these arguments that wanted to prevent change. Extremism is antithetical to our Australian society. I've spoken about that in this place before. Instead of worrying about how people seek meaning and the divine outside of our own spaces without encroaching upon or hurting another person, why not heed the call of the spiritual principles, perhaps axioms, and ask the question, what is my faith for? I wish you all the best in your search for the divine.
Thank you. Venerable Stephen.